Patch called me and said I was going to do this month's talk, which is shock. And I was like, I asked Leanne, one of the polecats, and said, help, what shocking things have I done? Help me, help me. And she's like, duh. Didn't you put up a pole dancing group in a very conservative country? And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, great. Okay, I'm fine. What does shock mean? So shock, usually we think of it as a noun. A sudden, upsetting, or surprising event or experience. We've all had that, right? Have we? No? If not, lucky you, or maybe not. But everything in my life actually started with this one major, major shocking thing. That's me, or you, in the center. And we have this little yellow, comfortable bubble around us where we live, where everything's so nice and peachy. Yes. And then suddenly this thing comes and shatters it all. Some shocking thing, okay? And that would usually make our world go a bit smaller, maybe crash a bit. And then now there's a gray outline because, you know, we put up our defenses. We don't want anything to do with the world anymore. So my shocking thing happened. In 2006, I was 30. I was engaged. I was living a very comfortable, normal life. So I was engaged to be married to my best friend. I had a dress, a nice silk dress. And then I received this text message from my fiancé then, saying he was breaking off the engagement and calling off the wedding. I know, right? Shocker, right? Shock ba? Shock? Do we want shock? So there. No, but the real shocker was, I thought, what an ass. Because he was on only text. So, which meant that that text did not even cost him 1 peso. So I was worth less than 1 peso. How's that, right? I did not even deserve a call that would have cost him 7 pesos a minute. Tama, right? So I was worth less than a peso. And then his last sentence was, do not text or call me ever again. So I guess so that he didn't, I know. So me, being my pride, I said, sure, why not? Of course, I was devastated. I was really sad for a whole year. Yeah, but, you know, oh my God, I'm not going to cry. But anyway. And look, after 1 year of being sad and spending all my money and eating chocolate and everything, this is how I look. Was I cute? Oh, was that like, yeah, an off pity or, oh, such a poor little girl. But so yeah, so after a whole year of eating just junk food and chocolate and crying in my room, I saw myself in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, what happened to you? So again, another moment of pure shock. I was like, wait, what's happening? What's happening? So at that time, I thought of shock, oh, it's a wake-up call. You know how like a cold shower wakes you up in the morning? It's not entirely pleasant, but then it wakes you up. So you're ready for the day. And then everything after that seems easy because, you know, the cold shower was terrible. So I thought of what happened to me. This was in 2007. I was like, I should stop like doing all this self-pity thing and just eating chocolates and stuff. So I was like, okay, how do I do that? So then now we come to the shock as a verb, to cause someone to feel surprised and upset. I stole that again from Google. So I was like, okay, I don't want bad vibes. So let's take out the upset. I was so upset already. Let's take that out. And then the someone, at that point, I really just wanted to fix myself. So I said, maybe I should concentrate on shocking myself. By shocking yourself, I think you have all these limits that you set for yourself, all these boundaries that you think you have of what you think you can do, you're not supposed to do, you're not allowed to do. And then what if you suddenly surprise yourself and push through that, push against that, and then who knows what will happen after. So instead of having that arrow from outside going in and crashing your world, why, yeah, you know, that happens. Life will happen to you no matter what you do, right? You have no choice. It will happen to you. So why not, instead of being just a passive receiver of all these things that life throws at you, why not be proactive? Why not do something? So the arrow now is pointing out. And then when you push that gray boundary, the yellow thing, your comfort zone, it gets bigger. And then you think, oh, so things are easier. Maybe not, but at least it gets bigger. Your world of possibilities gets bigger. So I said, okay, now this is the time to do it. But now it's red. Because I was like, okay, I want to do it. But I was so scared because I was paralyzed for a year. I didn't do anything for a year. So I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? I was overweight. I was alone. I wasn't, no, my career was fine. I had, well, who am I kidding? No, my career was fine. I had just won an award for production design for Ang Pagdadalaga ni Maximo Oliveros. Oh yeah, you know that movie! Yay for Philippine films. So, and I had just been nominated for an Urian for Big Time, another film that I did. So, I was like, okay, but what am I gonna do with my personal life? Career was easy. You know, you just work to forget sadness and everything. Have you all done that? Yes, right? I was so busy and I was so productive because if I stopped working, I was going to cry. yeah, so at that point, I made these lists, pros and cons, what to do with my life, until I decided, just screw it all. I'm going to throw away my list of pros and cons of what will happen if I do this and do that, of my flow charts and everything. And I decided, yeah, I was kind of a geek. So I decided that I will always just choose the crazy option. Yes, crazy option. It used to be just the fun option, but then parang fun wasn't enough. You had to choose the crazy option. So once I decided to do this, I felt better. Because choosing means you have a choice. Because you're empowered. Because, you know, sometimes life just throws things at you, and with that, you don't have a choice. But then you have a choice with what you do with it, with what you do after. And then you don't want to choose the boring option. Why? Why do you want to do that? Like, okay, pop quiz. A hot Spanish guy asks you out for coffee and says, you're hot. I want to take you out for coffee. What do you say, yes or no? Yes, right. Bakit ang konti? Wait, what do you say? Oh, for the boys. Okay, wait. A hot Spanish girl. A model, a Spanish model. Yes or no? Yes. So someone asked me out, and I said no. I was nonsense, right? I know, because I was so scared. I was like, am I hot? Why does he want to have coffee with me? What if he asks me to go back to his house with him? What am I gonna do? Like, I know, I was like, stupid girl, you should just say yes, right? I mean, he asked you out. He said you're hot. So I kept saying no for 6 months until he stopped asking me out. I know, because that's what happens to you when you stop saying yes to fun, crazy things. The fun, crazy things, you know, they're like, corny yan. Let's not go to her anymore. So until, I managed to, ask him out. That was so hard. But he said yes. We had fun. Yay. So, at this point, this was 2007. So, I was poor because I had spent all my money that was supposed to be for the wedding and for the married life on chocolates. And hence the 30-pound weight gain. I was poor. I was alone. I cut up my wedding dress. I threw my... what was I gonna do with it? Diba? Hang it in a museum? I don't know. So, and my engagement ring, I threw down the trash chute in the condo. And what was I gonna do with it? Sell it! Sell it! More chocolates? No! We didn't want more chocolates because I was getting fat. Did you see the picture? Did you see the picture? I threw it. Yeah, so lucky the person who went through my trash. looking for, I don't know, food or something. Yeah, engagement ring. It was a very nice engagement ring. I'm kind of sad because it was a skull with red stones for eyes because my fiance said, you know, till death do us part. Well, we know what happened to that. So, woohoo. Anyway, so after that, I was like, let's stop all this boring, normal life stuff. What else can I lose? Right? I was overweight. I was rejected. Yeah, like, yeah, how else, how low can you go? Yeah, nowhere. That's it. So, I did what every poor person would do. I moved out. So I had 1,000 pesos in my bank account because nga, chocolates, right? So, I know, no, I really had 1,000 pesos in my bank account. I was like, because we were living together. I didn't want to live in that room with him that I used to share with him. So I moved out. This was, that's really my room. It was 20 square meters. If you've been to Silverlands, have you guys been there? There's this tiny room where we have exhibits. Yes, that's how big my place was. And I didn't have money, so I didn't have a ref. I didn't have a microwave. I bought a chair for 400 pesos. It's still alive now. I bought a pole, and that's not a real pole. It's just one of those tubo things from the hardware. I couldn't afford a real pole. So that fell down a couple of times. I said, I'm going to move out and I'm going to be an artist. Because before this happened, I was doing shows here and there, but not really because I was doing well as a production designer. And I said, I need the money. My career's going well. Why not do it? But deep in my heart, I wanted to be an artist. So I said, if you read it, this is the only photo I have of my space. That's why it's there. But also, when I read it now, it's nice because I had just quit my job as a production designer after just winning some awards, and I decided to draw full time. And it says there, drawing is lonely. I miss people. Yes, I was going crazy because from a job that had people around me all the time, I was alone the whole day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But I liked it. I produced lots of drawings. It was fine. So I said, right, choose the crazy option. You're poor, move out. The city said. But I was very productive because I was forced to work. And then at that time, Silverlands called me, Isa called me and said, oh, there's this artist that backed out from Silverlands. And do you want the show? And I was like, yes, of course. When? Oh, it's in 3 weeks. Huh? Yes, so of course. What was my answer? Yes or no? Yes, yay, you're getting this. And because I didn't have time to make work, I decided that I would, on opening day, I would draw on the walls and the drawing would be finished on closing day. So at that time, I was dating someone with really long hair until his ass. So it just felt like I was being enveloped in a sea of hair every time I would sleep beside him. So I wanted that feeling of like hair all around you. So I drew hair on the walls. So I knew that I couldn't finish it in 3 weeks just by myself. So yeah, I asked everyone since the show was technically open. So people would come and visit and help. And I would give haircuts in between. So on the right side, you will see me giving haircuts right about now, there on the right. So since it was show on hair, I was like, if you came and helped, I'd cut your hair. I didn't know how to cut hair. But, but people were happy to get haircuts. They thought it was edgy and yeah. So there. So the whole thing was covered in drawings. This is also where I first met Tita Hilda Cordero Fernando. She came in and said, young girl, I wasn't young, I was like 31. Young girl, I read an email from Silverlands. I don't understand what you're doing. So what are you doing? And I'm like, I actually don't know. So she came and brought me coffee. She went again the next day. There she is, brought me coffee again. And then when I had to leave early, she said, why? Where are you going? I said, I had to go to pole class. She's like, okay, I'll come with you. So she went with there. So she's the real shocker and pusher of boundaries. When I grew up, I want to be like Tita Hilda. A few months after, CCP gave me a wall a whole wall. Have you been to CCP? Yes, and they said, "Oh, we give you the whole wall, second floor hallway." I'm like, "Okay, so what will I do?" Since we started with a big drawing already, why not make an even bigger one? So this one is 85 feet long. I actually made it longer, except when I brought it to CCP, my drawing was longer than the hallway. So I know, so I had to cut up a part. So this is that one. S- So yes, I had no idea what I was drawing when I was making it, because there was this guy who liked me. I wasn't dating the long-haired guy anymore. So so there was this guy who liked me, and then he offered me a spare room in his house, except the spare room was 8 feet wide. So I could only work in increments of 8 feet and 8 feet. And oh, that's me. Yes, 8 feet and 8 feet. And that's Isa Lorenzo, my gallerist. Thanks, Isa. So I had to work in increments of 8 feet. And I was like, should I even do this? Should I just make works that are 8 feet long so I can see what's happening? But of course, what's the answer to that? Do I go with the big one or the small one? Big one, right? Because that doesn't make any sense. That you don't see your work. So when we installed it that day, it was like, okay, thank God it made sense. Now I realize if you're going to do this, you have to prime your canvas first before you use charcoal on it. So some kids were so happy with this. They were like, wow, flowers! Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, let them have fun. And then the parents would hate me because the clothes were so dirty. Yeah. Yeah, so if you're going to do this, please prime your canvas. And then after that, yes, because canvas is, um, it's a weave, so there's spaces, so charcoal will just seep through all of that. Whereas if you prime it, then it's sealed. Then charcoal will stick, and when you spray it, this fixative has something to stick on. I love it. I'm giving you art tips. Around that time also, since drawing drove me crazy, I drove my friends crazy. And they were like, we have to take you to somewhere fun. And that's how I started pole dancing. They took me pole dancing. And afterwards, I lost some weight. See? From the picture kanina. And I had this classmate who was a mutant, who was super good. Her name's Mirelle. She's the one under. And I said, you know what? We should start performing as a duo. And she's like, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, we'd make a great team. The truth is, I wanted to perform, except I wasn't good enough. So I was like, I need a super good partner. Because there wasn't anyone doing pole dancing yet. 7 years ago, maybe in clubs, but they would just hold the pole. I wanted to do actual circus-looking tricks, but I wasn't good enough. I wasn't flexible. I wasn't strong. She was a ballerina, gymnast, whatever, all around great person. So I said, we have to do a double sting. Because, two girls on a pole will sell more than one girl on a pole. Right? If you just say, we're performing tonight, two girls, one pole. Sure, everyone will come. So, so we did. I wasn't very good. So I would design all these tricks that would make both of us look equally good. But really, it was just her doing all the hard work. But yes, I had the brains for it. I could make it look good. So I asked my friend to give us a name, and he said, girl versus girl. I'm like, yes, edgy. Let's go. Let's do it. We would bring the tubo again, the tubo all around, find a way to set it up, shock all these people that suddenly, this was in, I forget where this was. We did so many gigs. So, but yeah, we just set it up, and then people in party dresses and fully clothed would be like, huh, there's someone like half naked here. But yes, yeah, we'll dance. And so we were able to get some students to join us. And this went on, the drawing and the dancing went on until in 2009, within my comfort zone, I won the CCP 13 Artist Awards. Yes, and um, I founded Polecats Manila, which came to be the school and the studio that we know today. So, CCP 13 Artist Awards was important because at that point, I wanted to make a 360-degree drawing. So you could be inside the drawing. Yes, it was 360-degree sky. I went on top of a helipad, took photos around, and I wanted to recreate that experience here. But setting it up with the wood and the drawings and everything would cause me to wipe out like my savings account. So yeah, it's such a theme with me, no? Like losing money. And no, so I told the curator, hey, maybe I should do something else. His name's Wire Tuazon, and bless him because he told me, dahil lang sa pera, you're not gonna do what you want. And I was so ashamed of myself. I was like, I claim to be a shocker and whatever and a forward-thinking artist. But no, just because of money, I want to back down. So I went ahead and did it. Yeah, because of Wire. Because of it. So that's the thing. And so you have to shock yourself constantly. It doesn't mean that once you shock yourself once and push your boundaries once, that's it. Once you stop, you're just going to become stale and stagnant and boring. And let's click this. And this is what I did. Just to push some more. You can do 85 feet. Let's do something even bigger. So for the Busan Biennale, I did this. It's huge. Filled it up with charcoal and then erased the waves by myself for 20 days. I injured my right arm doing that. Okay. Of course, I said, sure, why not be naked for some artwork? I worked with this photographer, Juan Cagicla. We were both naked. That's photography and drawing. So we kind of mix it up because he's a photographer. I draw. And then this was just this year in silver lens. This is small. I mean, by standards, 25 feet each. In the spirit of constantly shocking yourself, in pole naman, I said, hey, why don't we dance with an orchestra? Bakit ballet groups lang? So we did. So I called my friends from the MSO, asked them to arrange OPM songs. I called the bands. I asked permission from Urban Dub, Eraserheads, everything. Had my friends arrange it for orchestra and performed it with them. So it was a whole OPM show, Polecats and MSO. Yeah. And then I said, okay, I had blindfold there at the start. Why not dance blindfolded with a blindfolded cellist? And last year we had a show naman with projections and with Tarsius playing a whole live set. Late last year, I actually asked someone out for coffee. And I don't know why that was such a hard thing. I make big drawings. I founded a pole school. Why is asking a guy out so hard? Do you have an answer? No. But I did. I asked him out for coffee. He said yes. And we had coffee for 4 hours. Pwede. So, it went great. And then a couple of months later, I said, I really like you. I think this will work. And he said no. I know. That's the theme in my life. I was so sad. I didn't know what to do with myself. I started choreographing pieces. So I started choreographing and posting it on Instagram, which was so hard because, you're putting yourself out there, dancing all these songs for him. That's not like even returned. So I'm all for doing all your things for career and work and everything, but I think we should all have fun. Crazy fun, right? So, yes. So in my free time, I said, ooh, what's fun? I said, I think I like tying people up. So I researched, I bought ropes. And my friend Kaiti Chua said, oh, do you want to shoot? Sure. So we did that. And then this year, we did it for a magazine shoot. And then this year, that's me. I taught someone how to tie me up. It's my first time to get tied up. And I told Patch this earlier. I was like, oh my God, is this how crazy, horny people die? Because I was there with this hot Italian guy who tied me up. So I was helpless. And I was like, I didn't know who he was. I met him on Tinder. So I know. So after this, I was like, only my friend Duds knows where I am. Please, please, please. Please, Duds, please call me. Please check up on me, please. So no, but I'm still alive. So we had fun. It was great. So it's all about like
pushing boundaries and shocking yourself in different ways. Work, fun, personal. Your heart, right? Most of us push a lot for work, but our heart, still black. And I traveled alone a lot. My friend earlier said this year, he was the same director of Big Time, which I did 10 years ago, which was my last film. He said, you want to do a film? You have to be in Baler for a month. And I'm like, sure, Baler for a month? Yes! It was our pole show, and they had to leave for Baler right after the show ended. Hopped on a bus, went there to shoot the movie. And this is one of the sets that we did. They were like, oh, we don't have a set. People don't want to give us stuff, whatever, whatever. So I'm like, okay, so the top, I had to transform to the bottom. We didn't have stuff in Baler, so I had to call someone from Manila, gather stuff from Manila, ship it to Baler, and ship it back. Okay naman, right? And last night, we won Best Picture in Q Cinema. Yay! And since my trend the entire of shocking yourself in different ways, I shocked everyone by wearing pink. Because if someone calls you and says, do you want to do a shoot with Sian Lim, but you have to wear pink, what do you say? Yes. And yay! So there. So you choose the crazy option. And that's why the title, the question in your tags, title of my tell-all bio would be, because the crazy options would always mean the better stories, right? So if you have two options, always choose the one that would, that you would put in your bio. If it's something that you can't put in your bio, wag na, waste of time. So, to wrap this up, you need to ask, what shocks you? What are your boundaries? What will wake you up? What will cause you to push those boundaries bigger? And have you shocked yourself today? Have you?